Je connais des dizaines, des centaines d'ailleurs de personnes, de féministes et d'activistes. Si nous avons le financement direct, nous pouvons faire beaucoup de choses.
We remove the bondo bushes. We call them bondo bushes. And we construct schools. The whole world is talking about the importance of educating girls. But if we still have a lot of bushes where girls are initiated, do you think we will achieve education for girls? No.
Wow. As from today, we have denounced the bondo business.
Intermediary organization, they take bigger salaries. And then they don't do anything. They don't go to the field. It's the local people, the local organization that do all the work. They do all the reporting and they send this to them. And they take the credit because the monies are passed to them, even though the work is being done by the local people. Let's shift the power. Let's bring it down to the local organization so they can impact their own community. They are the victims. They are the people that can be able to make the change that the world wants to see.
Data from more than 70 countries shows that local feminist activists and organisations are the most important and consistent force addressing violence against women. Yet, less than 2% of donor funding goes to frontline women's organisations.
They are the people with first-hand experience. They are the people who are passionate.
Je connais des dizaines, des centaines d'ailleurs de personnes, de féministes et d'activistes. Si nous avons le financement direct, nous pouvons faire beaucoup de choses.
We remove the bondo bushes. We call them bondo bushes. And we construct schools. The whole world is talking about the importance of educating girls. But if we still have a lot of bushes where girls are initiated, do you think we will achieve education for girls? No.
Wow. As from today, we have denounced the bondo business.
Intermediary organization, they take bigger salaries. And then they don't do anything. They don't go to the field. It's the local people, the local organization that do all the work. They do all the reporting and they send this to them. And they take the credit because the monies are passed to them, even though the work is being done by the local people. Let's shift the power. Let's bring it down to the local organization so they can impact their own community. They are the victims. They are the people that can be able to make the change that the world wants to see.
All right, welcome to the Frontline Ending FGM. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi. Today we are bringing it back home here in Kenya. We're having campaigners who've been tirelessly working to end FGM within their areas of work and their communities as well. And today we will have three campaigners who will be speaking passionately about what they've been doing, the situation as it is within their counties and areas where they work as well. So welcome to this session. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi, and I'll just quickly introduce my guests to the screen. But before then, I'll really quickly encourage you, as you can see on your screens, you are able to view and see the comments that you're leaving wherever you're watching this video from. I'll quickly bring our guests onto the screen now. Welcome to this conversation. On my top left is Esnas Nyaramba from Kisii. We have Vincent Ogalo from Migori in Kuria. And we have Catherine Diakonu, who is coming from Meru County. All these have reported cases in different degrees, but we just want to highlight what's happening now, what is being done, as well as what the stakeholders need to do going forward. So welcome, a very quick introduction that was, and I quickly start off with Vincent. Vincent, you are working in Migori Kuria. If you could just give us a very quick background about FGM in that area, how people practice it for someone who's watching this for the first time. Over to you, Vincent.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah, and I hope I'm very audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Confirm that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I'm Vincent Mwita from Kuria, a frontline NFGM activist, and also working with various frontline team in Kuria and organizations to ensure that we have a conversation about ending FGM. So basically what I can say is that from the onset of December 2022, a lot of cases in terms of preparation for FGM and also few reported cases of FGM in different villages have been reported already. And I can say that preparation started as early as November 2022. And these are the indicators that have been really evident in Kuria within most of the villages, because we know that Kuria has 4 administrative called sub-counties. And to these sub-counties, again, there are different villages, different locations, which we already seeing this preparation in terms of things being prepared, in terms families prepared things to be used, like shop selling things to do with balloons, shop selling things to do with wrappers, and also different assorted items that are being used.
Yeah.
And from now, December, we've seen a lot of happening because boys cutting started late November. And this is now an opportunity whereby we normally see, from experience, girls are being eloped in those celebration of men, and of boys, I mean. So basically, I can say that there are different villages that have been affected in Kuria.
Yep.
And we have areas like Gwikonge that already several girls have been reported to be in danger of FGM, and also a lot of some arrests have been made, whereby we got even one daughter of a village elder who was preparing her girl to be cut. And this is something that was reported by the community policing, and we have seen the police trying to take action, and arrests have been made toward that, and also rescuing of those girls who were at risk. We've also seen a village like Bongebo, whereby we've seen a lot of issues, a number of cutting happening, and also suspected cutting happening. So basically, also we have had a number of villages. So I can say in total there are about 22 villages that are hotspot of FGM happening around those places. But in brief, I can say that so far we have had holding centers in police station, whereby police have tried whatever they can do in terms of rescuing girls. And we have seen a number of frontline campaigners and advocates from Kuria, and also the community themselves, some of them reporting these cases. And we've seen a number of arrests and also a number of rescued girls that has happened. But above the rescued girls, I can approximate up to now today, we have had we are having about 321 rescued girls in different, 321 rescued girls in different temporal safe spaces. Whereby we have one in Taranganya, we have one in Zion International Church, we have one in Intimaru, we have one also in Kehancha, and also we are having another one. Others are just holding center in police station, whereby cases of typically FGM, we have suspected, and also FGM that had already happened. So in Kehancha police station, we are about 7 girls who are at that holding center, because initially when we were starting, there are a number of holding centers that were created in police stations. So these holding centers are to hold these girls who are suspected to be already cut, so that processes of medical attention, processes of prosecution, and the arrests that have been paid can enable that facilitation of the process to happen. So in Kehancha alone, we have 7 that are already cut girls who have gone FGM Kehancha police station. We are also having at Kegonga police station also a number of girls, and also the Hispania police station and Timaru. So basically, I can say that the number of girls who have been subjected to FGM that have been held in these various police stations are about approximately 25. And Jeremiah, just to say that we are suspecting the upsurge of girls who have been cut, because from yesterday, from the day before yesterday, we've seen areas like Bongebo, areas like Rewankwe in Timaru village, those are villages, Nyamagagana. We've seen areas like Witembe and also generally the parts of Intimaru, that is Intimaru sub-county, whereby a lot of celebration of FGM has been happening, and a lot of girls have been cut, and people are reporting this. So basically that is the situation in Korea, and we are suspecting it we are seeing the upsurge, and many girls are being prepared for cut. So I think at some point we are looking at a situation whereby the police, as much as they are trying, it's going to overwhelm them as last year 2021. But we can see also police are doing their level best. The cases that are being reported anonymously, cases that are being reported one-on-one to the police, most of them have been picked. But again, we are seeing upsurge. In some villages, all police cannot be there in terms of rescue and responding. Thank you, Jeremiah.
Thanks a lot, Vincent. We see that. Sorry for that. All right, so thank you very much, Vincent, for that. We are still seeing comments coming in, and just encourage everyone to keep them coming. We have been talking about cutting seasons, which are probably not the most fashionable terms to use during this time, but we see an upsurge every single time we talk about FGM and these areas that are known to be hotspots. Vincent, I know you've given us many details, but over to you, Esnas. I know you've been reporting a lot of cases. Kisii is special, I'd say, because it's the first in terms of medicalization in Kenya, and also the third in the country in terms of prevalence. Of course, the data will be updated next year. But if you could just give us an overview of Kisii and what's happening right now.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah. My name is Esnas Nyaramba, working in Kisii and Mira currently. The FGM thing turned some time back, I think in the late 80s, because we no longer celebrate even the boy child being circumcised. So in that process, you realize that it is very easy for the families to mutilate the girls when the boys are also taken in for medicalized circumcision. So the trend that changed with us, it changed, I think, with a lot of people, and mostly the elites. Because we noticed that the people that are doing FGM are the elites. The people that are taking their girls for FGM again are the elite. So I'm learned, I live in Nairobi. I'll take my kids to a friend that we schooled with who's a nurse or a clinical officer. She does it at a very low cost, maybe at home. And then nobody will know because I came to visit. So if I came to visit, these are the kids of my friends. So they're like my nieces. So I can just have fun with them, cut them, and just walk away. Yeah. And this is now becoming a problem because it is very difficult to know where the homes, where the girls are being cut and where they are not being cut. Number two, the rate at which now the clinics, the private clinics are coming up in Kisii is very alarming. And majority of the clinics are not even in the clinics board. They are not registered fully. So they does the FGM, and the main two things that make these clinics go this up and the higher number is because the most clinic numbers, the most people that are there are doing two things. The clinics are there for abortions and FGM, and these FGM things are done usually at night. So you come with a girl. Mostly like the most recent case that made me now feel like we need to do this more and more, not only in December, but we need to do this from Monday to Monday, January to January, is because we are no longer mutilating the bigger girls. We are not even touching the 10 years, 15 years old girl. We are touching the 2 years, the 7th month, the 17-old baby, a girl that is just innocent. Yep. Somebody, the number that is being cut is 4 years. So these are people who cannot speak on their behalf. But when it's done, they also don't know what was done to them. So they grow up knowing that they never went through FGM, but the parents did it when they were very young. So the number is really coming up. And when we go to, I visited like 3 hospitals. And in these hospitals, I think somebody used to tell them that we're going there for a raid. So the girls were again mixed up in the wards because you cannot just walk into a hospital and tell the doctor, I want a treatment sheet. It cannot be given to you because number one, you're not a family person, you're not a medical personnel. So they learn to ask you, why do you want this? But you realize that girls are admitted on antibiotics and painkillers. When you ask, you're told maybe they have infections and that is it. You find like there are 5, 10 girls, meaning already these girls are cut. Some parents also go as far as taking their small girls to ear piercing. So the girl is pierced, and then in that process, she goes through to a cutter. The girl is cut. When she comes home, Baba knows that my girl is just pierced. So the the medicine that she's taking is just meant for the ears, not the cutting. So in that process, a lot of young girls are cut. This year, I want to take the 3 months that I've really worked so vigorously because of the number that was raising. First, we was in a place called Raganga. Raganga is in South Kitutu South. Kitutu South, where we were called that girls are being prepared. They have come to visit Granny. They are being prepared for FGM. Then when we reached there, truly, that was the day that they were to be cut. We walked for 9 kilometers because we could not manage to go with a car or a bike. So once you are in the Boma, and then you are told, no, they just came to visit me. We just want to remove the bad blood, and then the girl will be good. We don't do FGM. In fact, for us, we are not cutting. We are just removing something very small. It just appears, then we remove the bad blood. Who said this girl has a bad blood? We rescued 3 girls from that family, and they are in an orphanage where there is a pastor we work with in the organization taking care of them. From Raganga, we went to a place called Kevirigo.
Yeah.
This mama is a retired nurse. Kevirigo is in Nyamira County. That is Kevirigo is in West Mogrango. So this is Nyamira, not even in this. A retired nurse who does it in her home. Kids come to play, then she does it. They just walk because Kisi, it is not done as much that big thing that will not make the girl walk. But it's just a small cut. So this small cut, once the girl is cut and it's under anesthesia, she will not feel, she will walk back home. So girls come, play in her compound, and then one by one, she does the exercise. She has been already paid, then the girls walk away. So from our own family, the girls, I think 3 girls from second son came to visit. So when they came, the nurse, that is the retired nurse who is now the granny to the kids and the mother to the kids, had an arrangement that when they come, she'll have to do the exercise. Then after 2 weeks, they go back to Nairobi. That is after Christmas. So we arrived there and we saved the girls. And the best thing was the 3 girls were not cut. But we are told that the lady has been doing this for the past 20 years. Then we come to a place called Birongo.
Yeah.
Birongo is in Nyaribari Church. Nyaribari Church is a big place. That is the Nyakai's place, where they usually say culture is part of us and us, we are part of the culture. So again, you are told it is not just, it is also not a culture. It is something that lives within us. So the girl must go through this. And when you look at Kisi, mostly the politicians, the leaders, they usually don't talk about this thing called FGM. Because they talk about FGM, then it means you are against the people who are going to vote for you. So they keep quiet. Instead of talking, they will just tell you, go and do it. Go and talk on our behalf. Because if they talk, they fear losing the votes. And in that place, we found out that there is a lady. This lady is a nurse in one of the hospitals in Kisi. And she has several clinics. She has a clinic in Itumbe, she has a clinic in Igare, she has a clinic in Nyamache, she has a clinic in a place called Nyacheki. And these 4 clinics plus the Virongo one, where now she stays, all of them do FGM. She has employed only nurses and CHVs. These are another team of people that are really doing FGM at the highest number, because most of the people believe that when you are in the village and you are a CHV, it means you are a village doctor.
CHV is community health volunteer, yeah?
Yes. Okay. CHVs are community health volunteers. They are the first doctors, and they are doing the FGM, and they are paid. They do the FGM at a fee of around 300 to 500, and the nurses are doing between 300 and 1,000 depending on the family.
Yeah.
And then from there we have Kenyanya, the Kenyanya where
so just to contextualize it for people who are not tuning in from Kenya, that's between less than $3 to $5. Okay, continue. as we also wrap the overview from your side.
Yeah. So we have that team that was in Kenya where we were attacked, but I thank God that we had the community policing with us. So that mzee is doing male circumcision, but the wife and the daughter-in-law are doing female genital mutilation. And this one plays for them a big role because they have a big house and then it has sub-rooms. Well, so the first two rooms you meet are for boys. The other rooms you meet are for girls. So you come in, you get the boys, you're comfortable. If you don't go to the background of the house, then you'll never know there is FGM going on. So we went there and with the help of the community policing, we managed to rescue some girls that were already scheduled. But those that are already cut, I think they ran away because we noticed there were people in the room, but we never saw them. The house had another door. So when we look at that, it means in Kisii, almost every constituency is doing FGM. But now the way they're doing FGM is the worrying thing because it is medicalized, it is under anesthesia. Now it means automatically it will not be just a business as usual, a business as normal. Because now it is me as a doctor with my friend's daughter in my house. I circumcise her and not rape a baby. Then nobody will come to ask me, why did you do this? Then number two, you realize that the police at first were the people who are giving the clue to the family that there is an arrest coming, there is a raid coming.
Are you saying that there are some policemen who are supporting or basically
yes,
giving the perpetrators?
Policemen, the chief.
Yeah.
In fact, some chief are even giving them security.
Say that again. Sorry, we didn't hear you very well. You said some chiefs are giving people security?
The chiefs are giving them the security.
Okay.
Because if I'm a chief and I know somebody in my region is doing FGM,
yeah,
and then whenever we plan an arrest or an ambush, the people that we are going to ambush are always in front of us. They run before we reach there. Then you realize, like, we only spoke the three of us. Who could have told these people? Obviously, it was automatically becoming the administration. So we decided not to use them directly. So we just come to your area and tell you, take us to so and so's place. With the help of the community policing, that has been very, very vital to us because now we have security, yeah, and people in Kisii tend to fear the community policing more than they fear the police. So with that impact from the community policing, it has been easier for us to reach more families, to reach more perpetrators, and they know if you're caught, then it's over with you. So that fear that they instill is helping us. The arrests that were made in the Kitutu Church South, that is Nyakoe, where two ladies were arrested. One is a CHV, one is a nurse. But from where they are employed, both of them are nurses. That is what we were told. So when we tried doing a follow-up, we realized that these women were arrested and again, they were released on board. So the day that we were supposed to be coming for court, one of them said she was sick, so she was not brought. But I thank God, but today, at least something was done and the case is being followed up. The county commissioner is working with us and is really helping us. The gender desk office from the county, that from the police department, Mr. Ogeto is doing a wonderful job because on a daily basis, at least now we are reporting to each other, this is what I have and this is what I need. Can you give me a support? Can you give us a support? And then number three, the CSOs that were working previously, saying that we are doing FGM and all that, and people were funded are not on the ground. I can count that a few, because Kisii has many CSOs working, but a few are doing what they're supposed to be.
CSOs, just for context, is community-based organizations.
Yes, community-based organizations that were down here on the grassroots, and they were working. From what they wrote on the proposal, it's like they are working. But when you come on the ground, you'll not find these people. So you realize like there's a lot of names, there's a lot of organizations from the donor side saying that we are funded for FGM. But you find maybe one or two organizations doing FGM directly. So the work becomes so bulk. So from there this issue of now you've rescued the kids, you've rescued these girls, where are you taking them? Where are they going? Most of them are in my house, some are in my mother's house, the house is a bit small, so you cannot take everybody in. I have girls from Kuria, I have girls from Longorian, because these are places I've been working in. Now you ask yourself, what will happen next? If this continues the way it's now going to continue, because this holiday is too long, what will happen? Where am I going to take these girls? Am I going to stand there and watch these girls again being taken through FGM, yet I'm just here? So it is a burden that is within me. So I decided to take these girls into my house. I have 7 girls today, because 2 days ago I picked 3 girls from now the place I am. I picked 3 girls, and that is why I came for a follow-up. So the girls are in my house with 2 from Korea and 2 from Longorian, plus my kids and plus my house girls' kids. So we are a full house. As I'm really looking at a situation, Jeremy, where an emergency center can really help us. So as when the girls are here, from there now we can look at where can we take these girls, which house can host this girl after this first instance. If the girl is cut, she needs medication. After medication, so what? If she has healed, she needs to get to another level, but she needs to have somewhere she calls home first before she gets to the other level.
I'll cut you short there, Esnas, I'll cut you short. Thank you very much for that update. I know Kate hasn't spoken yet. She will be representing, or she's basically representing Meru County. But before Catherine or Kate, the Econo comes on screen, I see more and more people are already starting to comment, and thank you very much for that. I see Michael Kishoyan saying, joining from Narok, representing NFGM clubs, and he's happy to be here. He's also learning about what is happening on the ground. Hama Imani Africa, also represented in the house from Kajiado County. Tom Gibai, representing Tunaweza Empowerment Organization from Kuria, where he says the cut is being practiced like a church crusade. We continue with this conversation very briefly. Catherine, if you may, just a very quick update about FGM in Meru County, maybe in 1 or 2 minutes. I'll ask you to unmute, Catherine.
Unmute yourself, Catherine.
I've done that, yeah?
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Catherine Diakono from Meru County. Meru is among the hotspot, and we have been having meetings and trying to okay, we know what is happening. In Meru County is totally different from Kuria and Kisii. One thing here is about adult FGM.
Adult FGM.
Yes.
So adults are being forced to be cut, or they are going for the cut themselves?
They are going to be cut. Okay. They are taking themselves to the cutter, because the cases of today we had a meeting with the chiefs and the DCC Gembe South, and the chiefs are telling us they know the places where these women are being taken with borders. Some are being taken like cross sub-county, because according to the road which has been there, Egembe South is more like, we can say it's more like blessed, it has water. So they have been irrigating their crops and they have been selling, unlike Egembe North and Egembe Central. So the people, there's a certain woman who is being accused of doing FGM, who is in Egembe Central. So people are taking boda or motorbike. They are taken there. She circumcises. She says she circumcises like 3. She doesn't do below 3, because I'm told circumcising an adult is 3,000.
Okay.
And these adults, the reason why they are being circumcised is because they are preparing to circumcise their boys. It is. I mean, they have gone back to the tradition of circumcising boys, unlike before, where they used to take their boys to the hospital. So their mother has to be circumcised in order to participate in their sons' ceremonies. So there are like 10 cases of women who are circumcised. It is a bit complicated. Who do you arrest? The woman? I mean, it is not like when you go to save the child who has been circumcised. In this case, is women who are 30, 35, 40 who are being circumcised.
Yeah.
And now such a case when a woman is of that age can be circumcised, she doesn't have more authority to even protect her own daughters. So those are some of the cases we have, especially in Igembe South, in this like location like Antobochio, those locations of Igembe South. Yeah, that is where we are having under circumcision. And the same now, there are even cases, now this is a new, like a new trend in Meru County,
Yeah.
but it never used to be there before. Now they are going to medicalization. There are clinics which are doing this work. Unlike before, where we used to know they are doing, there is a certain circumciser, because most of these circumcisers, through our work on the ground, they have down their tools. Now the nurses have taken over. The retired nurses have taken over. They're the ones who are doing the work of circumcising girls. Now that is what is happening in Meru County. We are working with the team. Okay.
I know that there was a case about a girl who died in Meru, but it would be nice in Meru a couple of years ago, and it really sparked a big debate about the areas as well as the kinds of FGM being done, as well as the structures that are there just to seek justice for those who are survivors, and some of them even who succumb to complications or basically FGM. Now, in Meru, if you could just very quickly paint a quick picture in terms of statistics, the location it is in, and the factors that push FGM to continue in that area. Very, very briefly.
Okay, well, there is a problem somewhere, because even today, as we end our discussion with the chief, things are not flowing from the chief to the police stations, to the hospital. We have that problem with the because let's say, for instance, there is a case of FGM which has happened. The chief goes to report to the police station. When she goes to the police station, it is such a bad situation. Like some of the chiefs, they were saying they are spending their money. They go to the hospital where they're supposed to be like the medical report. They are charged 1,000. They go there. They spend the whole day. It becomes so tedious for them to do that case. That is one of the complaints the chiefs have brought to us, that they are facing adults, and the people are giving them these disturbances that their fellow in the government. Like you find they go to the police station.
Yeah.
The police who are on that desk, they start like questioning them, like asking them, okay, you're saying she has been cut. Are you the one who has been cut? These are big women. Where are you bringing them? And that's now like a girl of 16 years.
Yeah.
Now the chief again goes with the same girl to the hospital. And when she reaches to the hospital, they are not given priority. The chief is the one who is taking care of the mother who has been circumcised, who circumcised the girl. She has taken the girl to the hospital. Now when the girl goes to the hospital, the girl has to stay there, follow the line, the queue. The girl is released. Now the chief, to some extent, as a human being, I even feel them, they become tired because of the frustrations they're getting on the way. So one problem we have in Meru County, unlike in other places where there is a smooth running of events, in Meru County there are so many adults, like the same we had before. There is no cooperation. So because I talked with them, with the DCC and the police, I told them they should sit down and I will continue following up, so that like the GBV or FGM victims are given the first priority when they go to the hospital for P3. Now we are trying to see these people should not even be charged. I'll continue following up with the DC. They should not be charged for P3 because they are being charged 1,000. Who will give out 3,000? The mother was arrested. The person with the kid is the chief. Where will the chief get 1,000 to write the P3? Now that is the situation here in Meru.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we just take a very quick break. We'll come back and we'll now delve into some of the issues just in regards to prevention. But for those who are joining, thank you very much for leaving your comments. Keep them coming, as well as what's happening in your area, so that we can see how to address them. So we'll just come back. What are people doing with that area, and what needs to be done going forward? So very quick break. We'll come back and continue with this conversation.
Data from more than 70 countries shows that local feminist activists and organisations are the most important and consistent force addressing violence against women. Yet, less than 2% of donor funding goes to frontline women's organisations.
They are the people with first-hand experience. They are the people who are passionate.
Je connais des dizaines, des centaines d'ailleurs de personnes, de féministes et d'activistes. Si nous avons le financement direct, nous pouvons faire beaucoup de choses.
We remove the bondo bushes. We call them bondo bushes. And we construct schools. The whole world is talking about the importance of educating girls. But if we still have a lot of bushes where girls are initiated, do you think we will achieve education for girls? No.
Wow. As from today, we have denounced the bondo business.
Intermediary organization, they take bigger salaries. And then they don't do anything. They don't go to the field. It's the local people, the local organization that do all the work. They do all the reporting, and they send this to them. And they take the credit because the monies are passed to them, even though the work is being done by the local people. Let's shift the power. Let's bring it down to the local organization so they can impact their own community. They are the victims. They are the people that can be able to make the change that the world wants to see.
All right, we're back once again. Thank you very much. This is Frontline Ending FGM. We are all having a conversation on how can we better deal with cases as they happen. This is not the time to make preparations that we should have made 1 year ago or in the course of the year, while very well we know that girls are normally cut at such times. So thanks a lot for joining. Now we'll just go back straight to it. The campaigners are here, and we'll definitely be speaking about how can we better engage with all the people that have been working within these areas, those that have been mandated by the law to end FGM, and how can we better support these girls, those that are at risk, as well as those that have been rescued, even others that have been cut. We'll also talk very briefly about what the stakeholders are doing. I know we've mentioned some, but very briefly, ESNAS, I know Kisi is mostly medicalization. If we could very briefly talk about what the government is doing, especially now speaking about the anti-FGM board, but that is mandated by the law to not just prevent but stop the cases as they happen. So over to you, ESNAS, if you could very briefly tell us what's going on and what needs to be done, especially by the stakeholders led by the anti-FGM board.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah. Medicalized FGM, as I said, it is the norm in Kitty. It's a done deal. That is not something that you're going to ask. It is all over. It is for both female and for male. Now, the government, the stakeholders, who are the stakeholders of number one are us, who are the CSOs. Those are the community champions and chariots of FGM. Then we have the administration that has the chief, the assistant chief, the Jumba Kumis, where we're going to have the county commissioner, the DCCs, and and then we have the community policing. And for the time that I've worked, I've tried working this is almost the second decade that I'm doing an anti-FGM campaign, and bringing the community policing to the picture has totally changed everything. Because now these are the most feared people when it comes to action. The police will check, we need to know the place, we need to know what, you need to put some fuel. so as we can go and do an arrest. So by the time you're going, you put them a fuel. You don't have anything. So when you're thinking
Esnas,
of giving
so are you saying that the police are not cooperating in Kisii?
Yes, they are not. The majority.
But you'd also mentioned through that the county commissioner, some of them are also cooperative in Kisii. I would like to understand what that means.
This came as a result of the meeting they had with the anti-FGM board, when the county commissioner made a declaration that he will work to fight FGM in Kisii. Then from there, we can now see we have desks where you can report. That's why I said we have nowadays we have somebody who you can call from the police and they will service you with what you need. So previously we've been working, and then when you say we have an arrest that you're going for, they usually tell you fuel our vehicle. You need to fuel for us. So sometimes you don't have this fuel. It becomes difficult. So you just assume, like, I'll post it on my Facebook wall. I'll post it on maybe on a WhatsApp wall where I am. Then that will be the end of everything. If the girl is rescued, well and good. If it's not, because now you can't go to somebody's family and start rescuing a kid on your own. That means your security will be something else. You'll be beaten like a Brukenge, and nothing you'll do, because when will you end up well? Now, the community policing came with something that is working for us. And from the 3 visits that we did that were really big, that was the Kenyenya, the Kebirigo, and the Itumbe one. Those are 2 counties, that is Nyamira and Kisii. They said very well, these clinics must remain closed. And if this woman is seen, tell her that we want to see her. She comes to our office. Then when we went to Kebirigo, the lady was told, on a daily basis, you'll report in our office and say, Sijakata, I have not cut any today. So it's like you're reporting on a daily basis that you've not done the exercise. And then when you look at the case that was in Kenyenya, the mzee was told that if a girl is cut in that roof again, they have left their eyes. You know, the community policing is all over Kisii. So when they tell you, we've left our eyes watching you. So the mzee is like, I don't want this business. So at least when we called, the lady who had given us the hint, when we called her, she was like, nowadays the girls don't go there, so we will give you, because we know we've changed direction towards somewhere else, we will give you the exact place where they are doing it. So at least it is giving us a positive answer and a positive attitude towards working towards ending FGM. And then lastly, the chiefs, the declaration, the Kitutu declaration of assistant chief and chiefs on ending FGM helped us, because it is now them. We told them, if a girl is cut in your area and you knew, if we manage to know that you knew this was to happen, then we will prosecute you. You are the person to go in for it. And then the chief tells the assistant chief tells the community elder or the village elder. So it trickles down to that is doing it. Now, when we came to realize that from what we were doing, even there's community health volunteers were part and parcel of the exercise, we are trying to say no to. We went to the organizations that are working directly with the community health volunteers, and we told them, if your health volunteer is found cutting or doing the cutting, then it means your organization is the one that you're going to sue against FGM. So at least it's sending some signals that there's something coming and there's something that's being done that is a bit strict.
All right.
We are really calling on the commissioner for Nyamira County and Kisii County to work closely in having a meeting with all the chiefs and assistant chiefs and the medical fraternity, more so the people who own clinics. Clinics in Kisii, the majority of clinics that are in Kisii are not registered. So they do something, a mistake happens, and then when you start doing a follow-up, you realize that that name does not exist anywhere. So they need to do a rapid check on the clinics and know exactly who owns this clinic. Are they quacks or not? Because Kisii has a lot of quacks. And these quacks are the people doing FGM, and they are the people doing it at the highest number, because they're only paying 300 to 500 shillings to do for one girl. So I think with that one, the government and the stakeholders, it will be very easy for us to work as a team to know exactly how we can manage it as a team. Because when I go as an individual, it is a heavy thing. I get overwhelmed. At the end of the day, it overwhelms me, and I'll just retreat. I'll say, let me give myself 2 days. And those 2 days that I'll give myself to rest are the days that the majority or the number of the girls that are going to be cut that night will be the highest. Because the today afternoon incident caught me off guard. Because this man calls you and tells you, I'm told my wife is taking my girl for circumcision. Then he tells you the only place he can take my girl to, I'm told, is this and this place. And then you do the follow-up until you find the girl in the same house you are told. Then once now you want to go for the arrest, the husband again tells you, no, this is my wife. I'll just talk to her so she cannot cut my girl again, but you not arrest.
But Esnas, I think I know, and I know that it's not easy for you, of course, and you're in the front line. I think there are people who are mandated by the law to protect these girls, not just negotiating if they're going to be cut or not, but it's actually within the Kenyan law to protect these children. If you could just give me in 1 or 2 sentences, what has the anti-FGM board done? Is there any commitment from the county commissioner that's visible on the ground? And basically, if you could just give me those 2, then skip off to Kate, then Vincent. As Vincent has just mentioned to me that he is on his way to Ntimaru, which is also a hotspot for FGM. Thank you.
The commitment for the county commissioner that was to end FGM and the arrests that were to be done by the police, and no police will be asking for fuel before they go for the arrest. I think for the few that we've done, they have not asked for fuel, so that was a big deal for us. And I know if they continue that way, we'll manage to reach more girls and save more girls. And then number 2, when I look at the anti-FGM board, I don't want to lie. I don't know where they are working because I'm in Kisii mchana na usiku. And the only thing I see is people sitting on boardrooms. FGM in Kisii will not be fought in the boardroom. FGM in Kisii will be fought in these clinics and in these big homes or where people are learned. FGM will be fought through the media where people are going to be told, please don't do this and this and this, not in the boardrooms. So Mimi, usually I say there are some things that we must fight physically by going to where these people are and not in the boardroom. So they must come out of the boardrooms and work directly with the people on the ground. They must come out with the few, whatever they have. Because I don't want to talk much, because if I talk much, So let them, the board come out, work with the people on the grassroots, fund the people who are working on the grassroots, the people who are the fund. They're like the CHVs now from the FGM side. They understand where we are saying this clinic, and this clinic. These are the only people who can help us to know whether this clinic is they are registered or not. So let them come down and work with the people that are here and not in the national office and not in the county offices, but in the mashinani. That is what I would say.
Thank you, Esnas. I'll just quickly read some comments that are coming in on YouTube as well as on Twitter. And I'll just start off with Twitter. Manga Simon says the discussion is very essential for all of us activists. We need to now look for the root causes and handle the situation. Meanwhile, and Maroa Tobias says, following yesterday's gender sector working group discussions, girls will be disadvantaged by what was agreed, that no girls should be taken to a rescue center outside the sub-county, and that's in Kuria. I'm going to read some from YouTube. I see another Moses is his YouTube name, says police and chiefs in Kuria Buirege have stepped back on the issues. It's everyone for himself, God for all of us, for us all. So sad. And I think there was one more that I can't see now. I will just update as they pop on the screen. I just encourage you all to leave your comments and let's all be part of this conversation. Kate, very quickly, what are the stakeholders doing there, and what needs to be done now?
Okay, thank you, Jeremiah. One of the things we have discussed is that the different arms of the government, they have to come together and work together. For instance, the chief, we have decided, we talked with the with the DCC of the area, and I told him to talk with the counterpart in the Ministry of Health, that is the MOH, so that it can be easier for the chiefs when they take these cases. The other thing, still our talk is let these sub-counties, the DCCs from different sub-counties, come together and work as a team. Because now, and even, FGM cannot be done in one sub-county, because it is cutting across the three sub-counties, that is Negembe. So they have to, let's say for instance, like to arrest this woman. The woman they are bordering. The woman who cut up the older women is from Negembe Central. And the DCC from Negembe South cannot go and do the arrest in Negembe Central. So my advice to them is that I told them to go and sit down, DCC by a DCC, to make sure they do this, they arrest this woman. Now, but I have a challenge. I don't know. I need to be advised how to handle the cases of the mature women. We have a big case in Meru County of the mature women. The women who are being circumcised, preparing to circumcise their girls. These are the same women who will still go ahead and cut their girls. I'm telling you. For them, it is not bottom up, it is up down, unlike other communities. So that is my take.
Thanks a lot, Kate. I think that's an issue that we need to raise going forward. You've said that it's mostly revolving around elderly women in your area, and they need to also involve that the police need to work together, cross-cutting the sub-counties. Thank you very much for that. Again, I just see someone commented on Tom Gibai says, what are you supposed to do when you come to a case where this girl wants to undergo the cut and the parents are supporting? First, I think I just go through that one very quickly. First, no child has the right to say if or not they want to be cut. And no parent also has the right, because it's all against the law. And anyone who's found to cut that child, whether they are the parents, they are going against the law. So I think that should be very clear and straightforward for all of us, that however much this child is probably misinformed, and it's against the law as well. So I think we should just move forward with that, with the police, as well as engaging them, just to make them understand as well. Maybe a question that we quickly would like to go through is, what is the government doing in regards to the arrests of these cutters? Because we are hearing that a couple of people have been arrested. The parents, the aunties in these areas have been arrested. But what's happening to these cutters? Over to you, Vincent. Hopefully we will be able to hear you as you are driving now.
Yes, Jeremiah, if you can just repeat, is it a question or maybe what needed to be done?
We just want to know what's happening with the cutters who've been doing this work. Is it that they are not traceable? We're always talking about arrests of, girls have been detained and waiting. What's happening to these perpetrators, these cutters who are doing this?
Thank you so much, Jeremiah. Just to bring all of us to speed, that in Korea, I think basically right now, like I said, there are almost 400 rescued girls, approximately 400 rescued girls in different temporal safe spaces. And we have actually visited 4 of them, and also trying to establish, also seeing how best stakeholders, especially at the gender sector working group in different sub-counties, and how best can we chip in, because we've seen a lot of gaps in terms of food for these rescue spaces and also other issues. So, Jeremiah, I want to say that in Korea, there are going to be more girls saved than perpetrators arrested. This is because I think, as we all know, that the Anti-FGM Board, the prohibition of Female Genital Mutilation Act 2011 has been experiencing some gaps, and I think to this end, Anti-FGM Board can attest that it is in the process of review. that has started. So you get that the most arrests that the police have been making, and I want to categorically recommend the police sub-county commanders, especially from Kuria West and all the other sub-counties, Kegonga, Kuria East, and also Ntimaru. They have really tried. From the last meeting that we had, there is a cross-border meeting that tunaweza and also the cross-border stakeholders and other stakeholders supported in terms of bringing the security intelligence from all the 4 sub-counties in Kuria. That is Mabera, Kuria East, Kuria West, and also Ntimaru. And I think this meeting has really seen us the light of the day, and because now we can see generally compared to the last FGM in December 2021, whereby our communication could not, even not ours, but all the communication in terms of giving out intelligence were not being acted for. But up to this now, we can see at least there is a progress in terms of our cases, or any case that is the police are really moving with speed. But again, remember that I've said that there are going to be an upside, because we are seeing a situation whereby the police are overwhelmed. There are also resources that they have, like Esna said, that some of them are asking for fuel to move into the villages to facilitate rescues. This is something that has really been a gap to these policemen, to security and also so forth. We've also seen the chiefs. The chiefs, some of them are cooperating and also trying to, whenever a case or any illegal at risk has been reported or FGM happening somewhere, they have been facilitating also getting information and also helping the police get to those scenes, which we are really commend. But there are also chiefs, especially when you see the areas of Ntimaru. I think one thing that needs to be done, Jeremiah and the rest of the panelists and also those who are watching, is that we really need an urgent meeting, even if the DCC can call urgent meeting in Ntimaru and ensure that all the chiefs are summoned and also the assistant chiefs and even extend to the village heads, because of the situation of the community policing, can be really good, and also this issue be discussed.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Vincent. I think sorry, we are losing you. We are losing you, Vincent. Sorry, we are losing you, Vincent.
The gap in the app.
All right, sorry, Vincent, we are losing you.
There?
Yes, sorry, but we are losing you. I think we thought we got that point loud and clear, and definitely this calls will be happening every day from Monday to Friday. So we definitely will go with them step by step, so that we make sure that whatever we recommend, whatever we say, whatever reports we bring onto this conversation, everything that we talk about is actually actioned upon. I'd really like to bring this to a close, but if something needs to be done now, and this goes to Kate, yeah, if something needs to be done now in one sentence, what is that? And then Esnas will come next, then Vincent. Maybe if we go to you, Vincent, and then we come back to Catherine. If something is to be done now, what would that be in one sentence or two?
Jeremiah, are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
So one thing that needs to be done in a sentence, I think it's high time that reinforcement to be done in Kuria, because we are talking at a time whereby we are going to have a longer holiday, because we are going up to January, and we've seen that more rescue are being done, and more rescue is being done, and the temporal rescue spaces are getting flooded. And also at the police station, though we had established some in all the four police stations, we had established something called the
Sorry, Vincent, we can't hear you. I think since you're driving, your network is falling off. Sorry, Vincent, we cannot hear you very well.
For the cases of FGM that have been done. For the rescue, they are being recommended to different safe spaces, but for the victims.
All right, Vincent, I'm sorry we were not able to hear you for a long time. I think it's because you are traveling. I think let's just go with that one actionable item you mentioned earlier, that we need to convene a meeting for government stakeholders, especially chiefs who are either supporting or silently watching girls being cut. Maybe over to you.
Reinforcement, and also we need the anti-FGM board to ensure that the work is coordinated in Korea. We are going to have an upsurge. A lot of cutting are happening that police cannot even reach other places, and the few places they have reached, at least we are seeing the work they have done. So right now, what we are calling up in Korea is a multi-sectoral approach and holistic approach, and also the police being facilitated, and also a lot of meetings right from this, the sub-county, DCC, Assistant County Commissioner, and also the cross border, because Tanzanian counterpart are also doing. We are also yet to we experienced the cross-border FGM in Isibania, whereby some of the girls were cut in Tanzania and they were celebrating coming to Kenya. So we really need those urgent meeting to evaluate and also to see cross-border not happening, and also more response and rescue of girls are happening via the police by facilitating them. We want national to facilitate them in terms of movement, in terms of patrol vehicles and all that. Thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you very much. Over to you, Esnas. In one sentence, what needs to be done now? I know you had mentioned the clinics needs to be closed. Now, what needs to be done before Monday?
Because it's raining, it's heavily raining, so I want to go before it's down.
All right.
Now, I think the first thing that is supposed to be done, as Vincent has said, is to have a meeting between the community elders, the assistant chiefs and chiefs. Then we also get the medical fraternity. We also get the people called the community policing and the CHWs. Those are the community health volunteers. These are very vital people who plays a very big role in FGM, and mostly medicalized FGM, and the people who will end it from where we are. So that meeting will be a very big meeting, and it will be the meeting that will touch the starting of ending FGM. Then secondly, I think also the board needs to come down. We have a meeting together with all CSOs that are working within KC and Nyamira, so we can know where we are, what we learn, and what we're supposed to do. I think that is all I have.
Thanks a lot for that, Esnas. Over to you, Kate. What needs to be done now?
Okay, what needs to be done now in Meru County is the strategy has to be changed. Because we are no longer, the more cases we are receiving now, it is not about the young girls, but the young girls are still at risk because the parents are circumcised. Now the girls are more vulnerable. So I'm thinking all the stakeholders should come down and we take the message, the women to the grown-ups, and then to the whole communities. Because by the time a grown-up, a woman of 30, a woman of 35, a woman of 40 is deciding to go to be circumcised, there are a lot of pressure from the whole community. And then there is the issue of medicalization. I'm urging the MOH of the area, these cases, because we talked with the people, we have talked with the people, with the chiefs, we will continue to receive which clinic is this, which is there. The MOH to take the matter and close this clinic, and these people are arrested. That is what is need to be done in Meru County as far now. Thank you, Jeremy.
I think what I got from that, Kate, is that we need to there's need for the Ministry of Health as well as the police to work together because of the upsurge of medicalization practices, as well as the elderly women who are going to be cut. There needs to be action to be done or made regarding that. I think we bring this to a close. Thank you very much for waiting and holding for all the time that we've been here. Today we had Catherine Diakunu, who is an activist from Meru County, Vincent Muita from Kuria, as well as Esnas Nyaramba, who's from Kisii. And we are glad that you also held on. And for those who left the comments, I think I just go through them fast. We had some comments both from Twitter as well as on YouTube. Manga Simon said the discussion is very essential for all of us activists. We now need to look at for the root cause and handle the situation. Marwa Tobias from Korea says, following yesterday's sector working group discussions, girls will be disadvantaged by what was agreed that no girls should be taken to a rescue center outside the sub-county. And I think that was based on security reasons. I don't know the reason why they said that. All right, and also on YouTube, we had Tom Gibai, Michael Kishoyan, Maureen Kimani, Tom Gibai again, Voke Kelvo, and Edwin Kipion. Thank you very much for tuning in and leaving your comments in the chat sections. Let's bring this to a close. We'll be together again on Monday with more updates. This has been the Frontline Ending FGM, working with activists, and we are basically reporting from where it is happening. Thank you very much. Kwaherini and asante sana. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi, and I work with the Global Media Campaign to End FGM. Till Monday, I'll see you. Take care, and let's protect our girls from what capacity we have. Goodbye.
Data from more than 70 countries shows that local feminist activists and organisations are the most important and consistent force addressing violence against women. Yet, less than 2% of donor funding goes to frontline women's organisations.
They are the people with first-hand experience. They are the people who are passionate.
Je connais des dizaines, des centaines d'ailleurs de personnes, de féministes et d'activistes. Si nous avons le financement direct, nous pouvons faire beaucoup de choses.
We remove the bondo bushes. We call them bondo bushes. And we construct schools. The whole world is talking about the importance of educating girls. But if we still have a lot of bushes where girls are initiated, do you think we will achieve education for girls? No.
Wow. As from today, we have denounced the bondo business.
Intermediary organization, they take bigger salaries. And then they don't do anything. They don't go to the field. It's the local people, the local organization that do all the work. They do all the reporting, and they send this to them. And they take the credit because the monies are passed to them, even though the work is being done by the local people. Let's shift the power. Let's bring it down to the local organization so they can impact their own community. They are the victims. They are the people that can be able to make the change that the world wants to see.